Hey, December 2018, I'm here with one of our Team New Vision selling partner, Tim Ho. So Tim, we have a lot of real estate agents, especially in December like this. I get a lot of phone calls, people asking about experiences working with the team, and I think there is no better person to explain other than from you, your experience. So can you share, especially how long have you been, how long you've been in business and how's your experience before and after?
Okay, I've been in the industry since 2008, so that makes it almost 10 years now. My experience is I come from an outside team where I pretty much prospect myself, I find the resources myself, I close the transaction, I handle all the paperwork myself, take care of all the admin, take care of the marketing. Pretty much everything's on my dime. And now I'm here in the team where all I do is I focus on servicing the customer. For a perfect example of someone who needs to buy and sell, I help them sell, I help them find, but I don't have to take care of anything else.
But you're pretty successful, like in the past 10 years before we met. You've been in business for 10 years when we met, and you are doing well. Like you came from a different Remax office, and I think relatively, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you are one of the top producers then.
I was I'm not trying to brag, but according to real estate standard, I did extremely well.
Yeah, how many transactions were you doing?
I did around 40 something over 2 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you did really well. So, but then what attracted you when your brother was here in the team? I remember you came to our conference last year.
Yeah.
So what was it that got your attention, given that you are doing well? And then, so that was the perception before at the conference, and now that you're doing it, this is your first 3 months.
Yeah.
So what's your perception when you're at the conference, and then when you're actually in it, right? What's the promise and the reality, I guess?
Well, the promise is that I will get leads, and I will be able to focus on working with buyers and working with sellers, and that's exactly what happened. The promise is also, my aha moment was with the VIP buyer's presentation, the VIP agreement presentation. That was like, oh my goodness, over the last 10 years, I've given up hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. I mean, just looking back over the last 2 years, I can easily see myself giving up $150,000.
So you're talking about the training system, basically.
Yeah, the training.
So you're talking about the training system, working with buyers, with the intellectual property, with the skills, you actually can net more money.
Correct.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
And why do you think that? You're like, so I guess most real estate agents, they don't talk about negotiation skills is because they're worried about prospecting. But I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but why do you think, you've been in business for 10 years, you've gone to all kind of training, why nobody talk about negotiation, what would it benefits the clients? It seems like the whole real estate industry. In fact, if you look at the residential listing agreement, Tim, everything on the listing agreement is all benefiting the agents.
Yeah.
There is no benefits to the consumers. And you know what's funny? If you do something that benefits the clients, the money will come. This is the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
But why do you think people don't?
They just don't know. I mean, as long as I've been in the business for 10 years, 10 years really isn't that long, but I mean, it's long enough. But in the 10 years, I've never heard of a program like this. I've never come across the type of negotiation down to the bare essential of the transaction is your commission. I've never had to get down to the nitty-gritty of it. And when I came to the conclusion at the conference, I said, this is my aha moment. There was just really no option. There's just really no other way to conduct the business moving forward.
So you really see the value in the training,
Yeah.
which is very rare. I think you are one of the very few, because most people, they join our team because they think with the value in our team is in the leads, right? Yeah. But you just said,
it's in the training.
It's actually in the training.
Correct.
Because it's like the lead is just a lead. I mean, I can give leads now to anybody, but if they still become the same person, what changed actually is you change.
Correct.
The way your mind here changed, nothing to do with the client.
That's correct.
Because the moment you actually what you did, you actually reboot your system. Our mind is like a computer.
Yeah, it was hard. I'm not gonna lie, it was a hard process to undo the 10 years of work that I had done to be who I was being, and to undo all the way I was thinking, to go back to a brand new method. It was a very conscious effort that I had to make on a daily, hourly basis.
That means you are coachable.
I'm coachable, yes, but I mean, I also had to physically and mentally remind myself that I have to undo that and relearn something else.
So it's a decision. Okay,
It was
but
a decision.
that's a really good point, Tim, where you brought up real estate agents watching this, just so you know what he's talking about. Give you one example. Is that when you work with buyers now, typically, you only show homes that are available on the MLS. What Tim is talking about is that you are showing them homes that they cannot see online.
Correct.
Now, your value, the value that you bring to the
I create them
transaction.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a list of unsold properties. I mean, property not on the market, and I'm about to make deals with the buyer right now.
So think about it, if you come with the buyers and you are showing them homes daily, homes that match their criteria that they cannot see online, price is only a factor in the absence of value. So what you're doing, you just add so much value that price is not an issue. And lately, I think in the past 3 months, you've been going out also to listing appointments. Can you share your experience on that? What was
my
before?
gosh.
Your experience on a listing before,
Yeah.
and now, how many listings you have now and sold and?
Well, I had 2 just closed, and I have 3 active listings.
Okay.
So I've been pretty busy.
This is all happening in the last 3 months.
3 months, yeah.
You did any cold calling, prospecting, don't you?
No.
So you get five listings,
Yeah.
2 closed listings, and
Yeah.
3 nights ago you have 6 transactions. But like, where did they come? Where did they come from?
Majority came from this office.
Meaning the book appointments.
They booked appointments.
So this is the difference thing. This is not leads. Every companies now they promise leads, but leads are useless.
Right.
You know, Remax. You know, in Remax there's
Yeah.
lead street.
Yeah.
If you open up the lead street, the name is like Mickey Mouse, whatever. You know, Century 21, KW, everybody promising leads.
Yeah.
We are the only company that actually book buyers and listing appointments. But let's talk about your listing experience. This is not just any listing appointments,
Yeah.
right? What's your experience?
So, I consider myself a listing agent prior to coming to this office because 60 to 70% of my transactions are in listings. And I would have to go out there and cold call, I have to door knock, and hopefully get them to open up. And eventually, I'm selling me as a person, me as a profession, me as someone who take them seriously. And at the same time, the pricing is 90% of it. And at the same time, learning how to adapt with different personalities, okay? But now, I go to one of the appointments that you booked for me. It's just pricing and just the strategy that you teach us to book the presentation. A lot of times it's already pre-sold.
Okay, so let's give you an example. When they open the door, what's the feeling before and now?
The feeling now is like they're welcoming me in because they expected me to come and they wanted me to come, versus before was I'm there to pitch them to sell something, versus them they're asking me how can you help me to get my goals done.
Wow.
It's completely flip-flop.
That's powerful. You know, Tim here, just want to make sure, right? Because it's not like you are you've been in business for 10 years. You closed 40 transactions in the last 2 years prior we met.
Yeah.
70-80% of your business from a listing. So you are actually one of the top agent in Remax office. So what you are saying now is that when you go to a listing appointments, the clients are welcoming you.
Yeah.
They are already, when you mentioned they already pre-sold. What does pre-sold means?
It means that they expect me to be here to get the listing.
Like you don't need to, before you have to sell you.
Yeah, correct.
You're saying how good you are.
Yeah.
I'm the number one. Remax is the number one.
Yeah.
You talk about you.
Yeah.
Now you don't need to do that because they already pre-sold. Now your focus is on how to serve them,
Correct.
how they can meet their needs, how they can achieve their goals, how their home can get sold in their time frame.
Yeah.
You can focus on them because you already know when you walk in. But how do you know they pre-sold? Can you give like an example? Well, let's say open the doors, you showing up.
They when they open the door and they expect you, they said, "Hi, my name's Tim. I'm Rudy's partner." And they'll say, "Where's Rudy?" And he says, "Oh, I'm his partner. I'm here to handle this transaction for you." And they says, "Okay, welcome." They they've already done, because of the pre-packaged, the pre-selling kit that you send out. I always ask them, did you go over the information that you're sending? Because they always go over the information. And they even sometimes says, oh, you know, Tim, I don't see you in any of the information. Says, yeah, that's fine, but Rudy's our team lead. But what it is they've gone through the information, they understand all the Zillow reviews, they understand all the Yelp reviews, all the reviews up there have sold them to have us sell their property.
You hit it right there, Tim. The secret is on the marketing. Everything we do, we are a marketing company. We talk about it all the time. We are a marketing company who sell homes. So the clients now, they already made up their mind. Just like when you go buy your car, you already know you want a certain brand.
Yeah.
Now you are just having a conversation, right? Versus before you have to pitch. So if you are having this conversation, ideally, what else? What else your experience with the team in the last 3 months? Because I don't.
The experience here is very helpful, because even from the most experienced agent to the unexperienced agent, everyone's here to really help each other. I mean, they're literally an open book to how can I help you improve your business. From the lowest person, not the lowest, but the newest person, how can I help you so I can gain experience so we can go through this process together? And from the most experienced agent, how can I share with what I know so you can do better? It's a complete team environment. No one's fighting for a lead. No one's fighting for a listing. No one's fighting for a buyer. Everyone's an open book.
You know why no one's fighting for a listing appointment? It's too many.
There's a lot. Yeah.
There are 5. We booked, I think this month, December 2018, we booked 300 buyers appointment, 40 listing appointments.
Yeah.
So what we are experiencing here is an overflow of business.
Right.
And we always want to look for ambitious real estate agents who are coachable. But Tim, as you know, not everybody who join our team are successful.
No.
So what are the common things, based on your short period of time here, what do you see? Okay, for me, the way I see it is, if people are coachable, like, how do I know you are coachable? You are a very experienced agent, you are doing well, but you are willing to put aside your ego and you are willing to actually learn. Now that is a definition of coachable, but what else? What's the characteristics based on your observation that's going to make sure that, okay, they are more likely to be successful?
You know, at the end of the day, it's ego. I mean, anyone can come in here and say, you know, I've been doing this for 8 years, 6 years. I close 12 transactions a year, I make 100,000. But really, 100,000 is no brainer. But the thing is, at the end of the day, people need to, if they want to succeed, they want to learn, they want to grow, they have to just check the ego out the door. And ego is what keeps people from succeeding. And even for experienced agents, if they say, oh, I'm too good or I'm too experienced to do this, if they have that type of mentality and the way they think already, they've already lost.
And at the end of the day, it's the result.
It's the result.
You know, at the end of the day, if you're a real estate agent watching this, today is December 2018, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, and you're expecting a different result. Today, I challenge you to do an inventory of yourself. Most real estate agents team, either they have money and they have no time with the family, or they have a lot of time and they have no money. The way the team system here is set up, so you can have, why don't you have both? Money and time. You personally, you and your family, and what does it mean having not do any more cold calling, prospecting, and whatnot?
Well, my schedule is worked around my kids. So my children, my family is obviously much more important to me. Making money is also very important, but making money without family means nothing to me. So my schedule is booked around, I clear off certain days for strictly work, and after certain hours is where I spend time with my kids. I pick them up, I want to make sure I'm there for them. And being with this team environment allows me to set a certain time, what hours I want to work, what days I want to work, what time frame I want to work. And it's very powerful because it makes me internally happy as a sales agent, and it makes me internally happy as a father, and internally makes me happy as a husband because I'm there for my family. So because I'm happy in all aspects of my current life, it allows me to perform better in all three tasks, as a husband, as a father, and as a businessman.
Wow, that's powerful. That's when we talk about balance, when you talk about the time management, you're actually present, you are actually there.
Yeah.
When most real estate agents, right, they spend their will, they work so hard trying to prospect and then they're dropping their family, sacrifice their family, but for what?
Yeah.
Right? So if you've never been to our team, having a backstage tour, really see how the team system works. Oh, and last question, sorry, last question too. Right now, 2018, 2019, everybody suddenly talk about team system, and I'm sure you heard everybody claim to be a team system.
Yeah.
What is the difference between the team that everybody's talking about and the team that is you see that you experience here?
It's night and day. This prior to coming to your office, I was also thinking about starting my own team. About 3-4 of us. One to handle the transaction because I'm going to be building all the incoming listings. I also needed someone to help service the buyers that I get a lot of calls from, and I also need someone to handle all the transaction and whatnot. So I was in the process of building a team because I had a strong income coming in already from my existing business. So, but then I was blown away by your concept is, team concept is, Tim, all you need to do is help the buyer and help the seller. That's all I do. As a buyer's agent, your only responsibility to do two things: help your buyer find homes and write contracts.
That's simply simple.
That's extremely simple. As a listing agent, my only responsibility is to get the listing and help them sell it. That's it. I don't have to focus on anything else, and then that also alleviates a lot of the resources that I potentially would have had to hire on to someone and make a little bit less from here, but have a team. But with this team concept, it's broken down into marketing, telemarketing, admin, media, everything. Everyone has their duties. Everyone has their tasks, and it frees me up as a listing agent to just do one thing: close.
That's a powerful, because when people talk about team in real estate today, they thought 2 or 3 people get together, they call themselves team. Those are not teams.
Yeah.
If you and I and Joe Blow here get together, this is just buddies. We are just having a conversation. A team, when we talk about a team here, we are talking about each individual person has a specific role in the transaction, so that way we can all achieve more. At the end of the day, the clients win. And if we build a business, just now we talk about building a business on a solid foundation, the business is based on client satisfaction. Because if whatever we do, the clients are not happy, then this whole thing is it's not gonna last.
Yeah.
Right? So the reason we are doing this is so we earn the clients 5-star reviews.
Yeah.
Right? Then we build a solid foundation on that. All right, so if you've never been to our team system here, I'm inviting you for a backstage tour so you meet Tim here in person, right? And then so that way he can have a conversation with you, have breakfast, lunch, show you how each individual person in our team has a specific role. So that way one person can do one thing. At the end of the day, the client's happy, the agent partner in our team have netting more money and have the time. And if you never do that, all you need to do, call 626-789-0159. Again, 626-789-0159. Anything else, Tim, you want to share on the New Year's?
Yeah, I'm really, really thankful for the ISA. I can't tell you enough. The people in your team over there and your team over here, it really, I can't tell you how stress relieving that having that is. Of not being able to have a balanced life the way I have right now. I can't tell you how
many hours you spent on cold calling before?
Oh,
it seems like it's like a big deal.
it's a big wall in my face on a weekly.
How many hours you spend?
I used to spend every day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I would have to spend at least 3 hours on the phone, and then afterwards I would go on.
How many hours on the phone?
I think prospecting is easily between 4 and 6 hours.
Wait, so you spend 3 hours
on the phone?
On the phone, and then?
And then another an hour and a half to 2 hours, 3 times a week, door knocking.
Yeah. And that goes for 40 deals.
Yeah.
So you really?
No,
you really?
It's getting to the point in my life where I spend. It just wasn't balanced. It just wasn't balanced, and I just wasn't happy. And when it comes to, making money is the easy part. Getting the deal, getting it closed, that's the easy part. But the grind of getting to that point was
You hardly see your family.
it wasn't fun. Being
3 hours,
in real estate, it just wasn't fun anymore.
Wait, so I just want to make sure I understand the math here. So just 5-6 hours basically a day on prospect.
Just strictly prospect.
And this is typical.
This is typical.
That's why the agent only have so little time doing the actual work for the client.
Right.
Because they always chase the next deal. Because otherwise, where does the next deal come from?
Yeah, if I go on vacation for 3 weeks, 2 weeks, I come back with zero. I have to start every day at zero. Versus here, if I leave for a week, set everything aside, come back, refresh, start.
Just open up your calendars.
Open up my calendar.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Wow.
I'm super grateful. Thank you.
But you are an extremely disciplined person. You did that for 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, because most people, they do that a couple of months and they give up.
Well, you and I started in the business when it was the most difficult time.
Yeah.
We were jumping in, trying to swim when everyone was
Getting
already out, right?
Yeah.
So how do you swim? You just had to force yourself to swim, and that's when you and I both started. It wasn't easy.
Yeah. But that's what make it
That's
tough.
why. That's why we're still here today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. All right, so hopefully that inspire you as we launch to 2019. Tim here, I'm learning a lot. I never have this conversation with him before, but this is one of the guys you really want to have a conversation with him, especially if your broker, your manager, your coach. Some people are paying real estate coach paying thousands of dollars, and your coach asks you to do more cold calling, do more door knocking, do more of that. Tim's been there 10 years doing very well. You're making a lot of money. It's not like, so we are not saying that thing doesn't work. You make a lot of money doing that, sell 40 homes, that's one of the top RE/MAX agent there, but then what you are giving up, what you are sacrificing is the time freedom with the family and stuff. Plus those kind of money, we are talking about gross commission income. You mentioned about all the expenses. So now we are talking about the net income. It's completely different ballgame now. Right?
That would have been the case, but
Yeah.
I didn't go down that route because I met you.
Yeah, but you can do the calculation. In fact, Gary Keller, I think on the book, The Millionaire's Real Estate Agent, it says right there. I think the average net income is 20%. Right now, you are netting 35%. That's like, hey, which business model that you actually net take home income? 35%. So that's amazing. All right, guys. So hopefully that helps. If you have any question about the Tim system, comment below. You want to meet with Tim? You have a backstage tour? Call 626-789-0159. Make 2019 be your best year ever.